Alright, in this lesson I wanted to introduce a quick convenience method called truncate, which is used for slicing operations on objects in pandas with a date-time index. So the truncate method can be called on either a series or a data frame. So let's take a look at how it operates. I'm going to execute our code to bring in our data set, and I'm going to call the truncate method directly on my stocks data frame and open my parentheses. And basically it wants two values, before and after, and that's going to be essentially the start date and the end date that you want to pull to. So you can supply simple string values. So let's say I want to do before, let's say I want to set the start at 2011 February 5th, and then the second parameter here is after, and that's basically my endpoint. So if I set it to be something like the end of that month, February 28th, 2011, and I execute this, it's basically going to quickly extract that from my data frame. You can see it starts at the first date that's valid, which is the 7th, even though we specified the 5th, that must be a Saturday. So it's going to start on the 7th and go all the way until it can, which is at the 28th, which is also a Monday. And similarly, I can expand this range. If I want this to 2013, I can make it a really large data set. If I want to start, let's say, 2012, 06, 07, even if that date doesn't exist, it recognizes it as a position in time and will find the date time index that fits. So there you can see I'm pulling from the June 7th of 2012 all the way to the 28th of 2013. So that's the truncate method. Basically works like a typical slicing operation does. If we were to use something like IX or loc, we would typically use those colons in the middle to specify it. This is just a convenience method, and whenever you're using something like this and slicing as well, you always have to be careful and make sure that your date time index is sorted properly. Just because it's dates doesn't mean that the data set is guaranteed to be sorted, and if it comes out of order, there will be all kinds of issues. So luckily, when we're using a library like Pandas Data Reader, it's going to be guaranteed that it's going to return us a data frame where all the dates are in order. But if you're working with custom data set, let's say from your own server, it's always a good idea whenever you're setting an index, not just a date time index, but any kind of index, to make sure you call that sort index method and provide that true argument to the in-place parameter, just to ensure that index is sorted in one way or the other. That won't just avoid errors, that'll also help you with speed and efficiency operations. So this is a quick introduction to the truncate method called directly on a data frame to extract date time values beginning at a certain date and ending at a certain point.